to the stream. Alright. Did I miss anything else? Okay, we're gonna start. I'm not gonna address any comments till after. So here we go. Bedtime Story, NekoNeko-chan. Judge should be here, but he's not. If anyone can wake him up, fucking wake him up. Okay? Here we go. Faramio and Judgiette. Faraz woke up wary-eyed and looked around his room. He looked down at his light brown skin. He had short black hair, brown eyes, and thick eyebrows. He wondered how long he stayed up last night, since he had a long night of streaming. He looked at the clock. It was 2:14 a.m. He yelled, "Oh, crud nuggets! I'm late for our meeting." He probably should have listened to Neko when she told him to go to sleep. He jumped out of bed and went to get some clothes on. He put on a white tank top with a gray trim and green cargo pants. My god. Faraz only liked to wear clothes he was comfortable in and didn't care about fashion at all. You know me well, Neko. He ran downstairs to the kitchen, the living room, and right out the front door. He ran to his car and opened the door and drove like a madman. When Faraz got to the ice cream shop, he got out of the car. He looked at the big letters on top of the store. It read, Potato Dox's bestest, awesomest ice cream place. The building was white and had big windows, showing everything inside. It had beautiful drawings of potatoes on the walls that would make anyone cry. He saw a judge waiting for him in a table through a window. Judge had a dark brown afro, wore glasses, a short beard, a nose piercing, and light brown skin. He was kind of chubby, which made him look really cute. Oh, Neko. Oh, Judge is gonna love that. Judge had come all the way from Kansas just to have a day to spend with Faraz. I need to wake up Judge. Hold on. I'm calling you. I can text him, but he doesn't have a phone. God, I want to wake him up for this. Oh my god. Judge, wake the fuck up. Wake up. Fucking Leo, you get him, man. Leo, you know how to get a hold of Judge. You get a hold of Judge. Faraz entered the building and walked over to the table. He entered the seat next to Judge. Judge had an angry look on his face and exclaimed, "What took you so long, you dummy meanie poo-poo face?" Faraz felt bad and said in a casual tone, "I overslept and I woke up late. I probably should have listened to Neko." Judge replied with, "You probably should have." There was a long silence, and Faraz began to blush for being here so long with Judge. Faraz asked a question to break the silence. "So, how was your day?" Judge answered, "Terrible, thanks to you." Faraz felt bad and said, "Hey, let's go get some ice cream. I'll pay for it." Judge accepted the offer, and the two walked over to the counter. There was a glass round half dome containing rows upon rows of different flavors of ice cream. Judge looked at the ice cream choices and chose vanilla. Faraz chose chocolate and walked over to the cashier. Okay, maybe you don't know me as well as I thought you did, Neko. He looked at the cashier and took a look at his name tag. The name on the tag was Jared. Faraz noticed that Jared was amazingly beautiful. It would be described as a phoenix being reborn from a roaring flame. Faraz asked, "How much will the ice cream be?" Jared answered, "It will be $10, please." Faraz was surprised at the price and asked why it was so high. Jared answered, "That's just how we do." Faraz felt stingy, but paid anyway. Alright, so far so good. Suddenly a girl came in with speakers playing K-pop full blast. She screamed towards Jared, "I am going to break your fingers." Jared yelled, "Come at me, Kelsey." Jared took out his sword and the two engaged in a fierce fight. Judge and Faraz looked in horror as one was landing blow to another. The fight lasted all throughout the day. Judge cheered on Potato while Faraz cheered on Kelsey. Sounds about right. Jared's sword was destroyed, so he ran at Kelsey with his fist raised with full force. Kelsey did the same. Both punched each other in the face, knocking each other out. Judge and Faraz backed out slowly from the store before the police came. Aya was secretly in a corner watching the fight. She would say the most important words known to humankind. She said, "Meh." Judge offered to walk Faraz home and he accepted. As they were walking down a sidewalk, Faraz saw a dark alley and remembered it was a shortcut home. Faraz said, "Hey Judge, this alleyway is a shortcut home. Let's go down this way." Judge answered, "Alright, let's go." As they walked down the alley, they talked about new and old games. Faraz said, "You know, you're an awesome gamer." Judge blushed at the comment and said, "And you're an awesome guy with great ideas." Nick, thanks for the follow, man. Welcome to the stream. Enjoy yourself, and you can be a big pig too. Faraz blushed too and stayed quiet for the rest of the walk. His heart started to beat faster. Faraz began to walk closer to Judge. Feeling his heart beat faster as he got closer, as they walked down the alley, Judge had a deep sense of dread that something was following them. Faraz began to say, "Judge, I think and then he got cut off. Judge looked behind and found there was a small bunny rabbit. Judge said, "Aw, it's so cute," and reached out to touch it. Suddenly the bunny rabbit stood on two legs, took out a controller with a red button. The rabbit pressed the button and then a giant pod from the sky dropped down. The pod crashed down, creating a large crater. Throwing back Judge and Faraz, the pod opened and there was a large mech that resembled a bunny. It was made out of metal plating and a minigun mounted on his shoulder. It had red eyes and a black vent on his back. There was an opening that showed the cockpit. The bunny climbed into the opening of the chest and got into the pilot seat. The opening closed up and a large mist cloud shot out of its back. The rabbit mech spoke, saying, "This is revenge for never feeding me, Faraz." Faraz said in a confused tone, "Wait, is that Lepus?" Judge started laughing hysterically, saying, "It's just Lepus. What harm can we do?" And his wheeze laugh. The Lepus mech shot out a laser from its eyes, creating a massive explosion with a mushroom cloud resembling a carrot. Judge stopped laughing and started to feel scared. Judge nudged Faraz towards the mech and said, "Faraz, you know stuff. Go fight it." Faraz glared at Judge and went down into the crater to face the Lepus mech. The minigun started rotating and Faraz started to curse. The minigun shot out carrots, hitting Faraz harmlessly. Faraz started to giggle and went back to being serious. Faraz ran up to the mech and gave it a fury of slaps and kicks. Judge watched Faraz in awe, while Faraz was showing an amazing amount of skill with every strike. Though all of his strikes didn't do anything to the Lepus's mech armor, and the Lepus mech punched Faraz, sending him to the ground. Hold on. Faraz became bloody and bruised. Judge ran to Faraz and shook Faraz's motionless body. Judge began to cry watching Faraz. The Lepus mech watched over to the two and raised one of his hands up. It set the hand down, about to crush the two, but NTR Nova came to the rescue. She was dressed in black skin-tight leather catsuit that had neon green designs. She was in high heels and was still able to run fast as Sonic. She held the Lepus mech's hands and pushed it back up. She punched the Lepus mech at the speed of sound and yelled, "Novocaine!" Oh my fucking god. With every punch. I love you, Neko. The punches created gigantic dents in the armor. When the Lepus mech was nearly destroyed, Lepus ran out and ran as fast as he could away. NTR Nova yelled out, "Justice will be served," and ran after Lepus. Aya went up to the crater and said, "Meh." She then walked away from it. Some say Aya went on to become Counter-Strike's best player, and others say she became the best Twitch streamer. Oh my god. Judge was still crying over Faraz's motionless body until Faraz unexpectedly woke up. Faraz woke up and said, "I love you, Judge." Judge smiled, stopped crying, and said, "I love you too. I just never had the courage to tell you." Then the two lovers hugged. The end. Why did I write this? Oh my god, Neko, that's the most wonderful story. That is the most wonderful story. It's so nice. I wish Aya and Nova and Lepis could be here to enjoy this like they're supposed to. That was awesome, Neko. Oh my god, Aya was there. That was so good. I'm gonna have to read it again. We're gonna have to get Nova, we're gonna have to get Aya, and we're gonna have to